Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about King Von. Now, RIP to King Von left us with a lot of great music, man. You know, his music catalog lives on and his fans are satisfied as far as that is concerned, right? Now, what's crazy is on the rumor side of the game, there's always a lot of things going on involving King Von. You know, there have been reports saying that he was linked to several different shootings and things of that nature. But right now, there's something floating around social media that actually links him into the case with Lil Durk. Now, Lil Durk earlier this week had his charges dropped in a 2019 shooting outside of the Varsity restaurant in Atlanta. Now, this was around the time of the Super Bowl, and him and King Von were allegedly there together. Now, this document that's floating around on social media paints the picture that King Von might have been the shooter in this situation, man. Would have actually got indicted had he not lost his life. Now, I'm going to read over that, give you some opinion, you know, and really weigh some of the rumors that are out there involving King Von and Lil Durk. But before we do and get to all that, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, man, let's talk about Lil Durk for a second. Now, Lil Durk was cleared several days ago from this 2019 shooting case, man. So let's actually look at a news clip from that explains what went down.
And next, new tonight, a major update on a story we followed for years. Prosecutors have dropped all charges against rapper Lil Durk after his real name, Derek Banks. Back in 2019, the rapper spoke exclusively with Channel 2 after turning himself in. Police say he was involved in a shooting outside the Varsity. Now, Fulton County's DA office says it will not prosecute him. In the last 20 minutes, Durk's lawyer sent us a statement saying, quote, while it took 3 years for the state to make the right decision, in the end, the right decision was made, and Mr. Banks can finally put this event behind him.
Well, that's all in good, man. As you heard in that news report, it seems like Lil Durk's charges have been dropped. They can't hold him for anything involved in this case at this time, and he gets to go on, live his life, and be a rap star. I'm pretty sure that is a sigh of relief because this case was weighing over his head. It had always been in there in the background. People were always bringing it up, and they were always talking about the fact what happened with that case with King Von and Lil Durk, man. What's going on with that? People would always say things like, oh, Lil Durk is telling, Lil Durk sold King Von out, and that is a big rumor that's running on social media right now. Now, I don't know if that's neither here nor there. I don't know if that's true, but I do know that there's this document, or I should say this supposed document. It's supposed to be from the DA's office, and it supposedly talks about the situation that happened in 2019 and how they believe that if Davon Bennett, aka King Von, was alive today, they would have been and indicted him, man. Now, this got me to thinking because, yo, King Von's name has been thrown in a lot of shootings, a lot of different things streetwise, you know, so it's like, it's almost to the point where, like, man, was he this active? Was it really like this with King Von? And if you listen to his fans online, that was the case 100%. If you listen to people who are close to him, that was the case 100%. So this might not be all caps, but let's read it anyway. Let's check it out. Okay, so this is what's floating around social media. You see here, it says this in quotes, and it's signed at the bottom by Jeff DeSantis, a spokesman for the DA Willis. Now, DA Fani Willis, she's that well-known DA out there in Atlanta that's been locking all these rappers up in these RICO cases. She's not playing out there. They got one for YSL. They got one for YFN. They've got another group called Homicide that they're allegedly looking at. And then they've got other groups with not as big rappers, you know, in the game, man. And I think there's even Hood Rich Pablo Juan's name is being thrown in there as well. But, you know, more to come on those situations. So that's the office that this gentleman is supposed to represent. Now, it goes on to say this in quotes. It says, this office has declined to indict Durk Banks, a.k.a. Lil Durk, for the February 5th, 2019 incident because insufficient evidence exists to prove his guilt beyond reasonable doubt at trial. Now, they're basically saying, the president said, yo, we don't even have enough evidence against Lil Durk to go at him in this, you know what I mean, to say that he was guilty. Like, and we need a burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt in order to even bring this to trial, or why go to trial? We the DA's office. We in the business of winning trials, not losing them, you know what I mean? Or wasting people's time. Now, it continues by saying, if co-defendant Davon Bennett, a.k.a. King Von, had not died in 2020, he would have been indicted for this incident. So they're saying that King Von is the lead suspect in this situation. And had he not died in November 2020, or the night when he ran into Quando, Rondo, and them's crew, that he would be indicted on this, man. Now, based on what I've learned about this situation, nobody lost their life, but it was another gun incident. It was another shooting, and it was involving somebody outside of a restaurant called Varsity in Atlanta. Now, I'm not sure how this situation escalated. There's a lot of rumors out there, but man, let's continue. Now, it goes on also to say, as stated in the motion declining to indict Mr. Banks, the Atlanta Police Department had evidence to establish probable cause to arrest him. Now, this is what got a lot of people up at arms and a little bit confused, man. By them saying that they had probable cause to arrest him doesn't mean that they had any type of information on the inside from Lil Durk or anything like that. This is not them saying that, yo, Lil Durk told us that somebody else did the crime or whatnot. And I think a lot of people are getting that confused, man. But, man, let's continue, because in this situation, you're going to see that, man, the way that it played out in Lil Durk's favor is because they obviously didn't have any evidence against him that made a difference, right? Now, it continues by saying that standard of proof, however, is considerably lower than the, in quotes, beyond a reasonable doubt standard of proof required at trial, which the evidence in this case does not meet. Signed, Jeff DeSantis, a spokesman for DA Willis, right? So the Fulton County's DA's office, right? Now, the guy in this situation who ended up getting shot, well, according to reports, was shot one time in the thigh. It was still considered an attempted murder charge or whatnot. And they're saying that in this situation, they didn't have any evidence, anything, video, everything out there. I'm pretty sure they looked at all sorts of things. They've been looking at this for a while to indict Lil Durk. Now, in no way does this say that, yo, man, Lil Durk, he got out of the charges by putting it all on Vaughn. I'm pretty sure they reviewed the videotapes, whatever they had, numerous amounts of time, and they just was like, nah, man, we just ain't got nothing. And we don't have anything beyond a burden of proof. So, man, we're not going to take this to trial and waste everybody's time and end up losing anyway, man. You know what I mean? Now, with King Von, they are saying that they did have evidence to indict King Von. So that lets you know that whatever they've been looking at over the years involving this case, they felt like they had enough information to indict King Von. Now, at the same time, that does not mean that they had that information delivered to them from Lil Durk. Doesn't mean that they didn't either. So I'm going to play the middle on this because there's a lot of theories out there, but based on what they're saying right there, it seems like they already weighed all the options. They didn't need Durk to tell them anything in order to come to this conclusion. But y'all tell me what y'all think in the chat, man. Is this just things working out for Lil Durk in the legal system as it should? Or do you feel like there's something nefarious going on with this situation? Some dealings in the background or something like that? I'd like to hear y'all opinions. But with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.